Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time. My name is Apricot, and today I'm actually bringing back a game that I've played in the past. This game is called Backspace, created by the developers Blue Tango Street. And when I first published my video for this game, the developers actually reached out to me to let me know I'd been playing an outdated version. And this newer version has actually just been released on Steam. They were kind enough to give me a Steam key, and here we are. Let's get yeah, let's just jump right into it. I don't if none of you have watched the previous video, don't even worry about that. Let's just jump right into this game with a fresh start. First, let's look at our author's note. I wrote the story for this game over the course of 2 days. I then shifted my attention to making Backspace's soundtrack and art, two skills at which I am a complete novice. Despite my artistic illiteracy, I still had a great time learning and implementing what I learned over the course of 1 week. That was Backspace's entire purpose, a reason to start picking up the artistic skills I always thought I was too old to learn. I still have a long way to go, but I am so glad I took the first step. If you can't relate or empathize with XYZ, that's okay. Like any game, Backspace is not for everyone. Nor do I think it was meant to solve any existing worldly problem. Backspace's story is simply the culmination of countless conversations I've had with my friends over the last 2 years, many of whom come from art or writing backgrounds. XYZ is an Amax as oh, that's not just a blank space. That's the punctuation for backspace. My bad. Anyway, backspace is an amalgam of all their fears and aspirations. I am sure that you have some of your own as well. If you disagree with the game's message, good. It's always important to keep in mind that fictional characters, much like us, can strongly hold on to wrong ideas or worldviews. However, it is equally important when confronted with such disagreeable ideas, especially if the truth matters to us, to ask ourselves, what can lead someone to such a point in life? I will end my rambling here for fear of this message excluding the word count of the actual game, or exceeding the word count of the actual game. Now that would be embarrassing. I have not felt so much joy creating something new in years. I hope that you enjoy the game as much as I enjoyed making it. Quill Cannon. Well, thank you very much, Quill Cannon. I'm so excited to revisit your game. Back. Let's get into it. Press E to continue. Sounds good. I read the warning. My role model made it clear what I was getting myself into. Following those humble footprints, left behind by a literary giant. Writing a book is a horrible, exhausting struggle, like a long bout of some painful illness. And so, I writhe, terminally. My eyes have been glued to the monitor at this exact window since 5:30. Well, that's not entirely true. I always love that detail. If you look at the eye, the art, the blinking, beautiful. I think that's so cool. I occasionally looked at my phone, or at nothing in particular. An escape from an escape. I set out to make, but I consume. I self-mummify. I just sit and stare. What is wrong with me? The word count is pitiful, to say nothing of the quality. Hanging on like a hopeful, week-old post-it. Really? I've been racking my head trying to squeeze out this idea. It was so clear in my mind. And this is all that I've got? AI could have done this in seconds, and probably better. Right? AI still got a long way to go. I say that both for the sake of this dialogue and as a reflection of how I feel personally. I know that this is a very hot topic that's only been getting hotter by the day, but I don't know. I think AI has its limits, and I think AI has its purpose. I don't think we'll ever get to a point where a generative program or even a predictive technology could come to encapsulate what it means to be a soulful person longing to create. And if we ever do get to that point, I'll eat my own pants. Right? AI gets things wrong all the time. And the more it makes, the more it struggles to stay cohesive. But my friend on Discord, he said he'd pumped out a novel in 29 days. A whole novel! That's 80,000 words, give or take? He's got a publisher and everything, too. Meanwhile, pathetic. Why am I doing this? Why am I subjecting myself to this? I could have been anything by now. I could have been... Uh-oh. Okay, in a band or a code monkey sounds funny, but an artist? That feels thematic. Yes! Painting entire worlds for all to see. Concepts, landscapes. Telling a story with visual cues. Not with words. Meaningless, slippery words. I had to choose the worst skill to work on. Writing? Really? Who was I kidding? Sure, I could start practicing a different skill. Those who already excel at them always say that. It's not too late to start learning, they repeat, religiously. They're probably right, but why does that phrase feel like such a bold-faced lie? It gives me the impression of a gleaming athlete patting the disabled kid on the back. Like a stick thrown for a dog to fetch over and over with a happy, drooling face, accomplishing nothing. Am I making sense? You're losing it, huh? I am? God, I must be. What could I hope to achieve by just starting a new hobby now? I've already put too many eggs in this basket. You can't fish for serendipity in a lake ages dry. You know, for someone who's claiming to have such a hard time with words, this is really good. These are really good metaphors. Serendipity. It's one of those words, you know? A word you feel so self-assured that you know it. It makes perfect sense in your head. But when asked to define it, you blank out. You and you or just make up something vague and hope that they buy it. Words like vicarious, like sheepish, like Personally, I always find myself using idiosyncrasy a lot more often than anyone does in normal conversation. Did I pick this up from somewhere? I think it meant something like odd behavior. I know a thing or two about those, then. Stop speaking in metaphors, you idiot. You're not in the book. How do they do it? I know exactly what I want to happen. It is right there. My story. My thought. No. No, no. No, calling it a thought is an insult to human cognition. I might as well just be a painter with 10 broken fingers. Pink and grotesque like whole fermented pigs. There you go with those metaphors again, buddy. This brain whirlpool is suffocating me. I need to go for a walk. Anything but this. Might as well, yeah, sure, why not? That second answer is a bit too mean. This is it. The walk that will bring it all around. Let's go. Okay, if you haven't seen my first video of this game, this scene baffles me. Hey, Mom. I'm going out. No, just around the block. But I don't have any money. Fine. Okay. I love you too. I'm leaving now. Okay, that scene baffled me. I have no clue what's going on. But it's really fun. The streetlights are out again. Can't believe she wants me to buy dairy now of all the times of day. For a second, I thought it was too important to buy groceries. Where do I get off thinking like that? Historically, children were made solely to work. Not ancient history, even. Imagine me, hefting a hoe half my weight. No, my two greatest concerns are going on an errand, and I can't write to save my life. It's hard to imagine sometimes. Our ancestors? Yeah. Generation after another. Barely scraping by. Dying at 20. Then again, people wrote back then too, right? Surely a privileged skill at the time, but I guess they died so I could write. Then again... hello? That passerby. The man with the hat. I think he just looked at me. Did he look at me? Is something wrong with how I look? My face? I know. He probably thinks he's better than me. I bet he compared himself to me, and then looked away because he saw enough to think he was better. But if he knew me, he'd think differently, wouldn't he? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He's not better than me. I have so much going for me. Who does he think he is? He has no clue that I... Wait. Did he think? No. I could take him. Put me in a room with him. I wouldn't even need a weapon. Why do I care what he thinks? Not only did I care, I swelled from within. No more than a few milliseconds of eye contact. Unintentional, too. But someone I will almost certainly not come across a second time. And yet, for a moment, that felt like an hour-long debate, where I had to prove, incontrovertibly, my value as a human being. It was the briefest glance, to someone I don't know and never will. I argued with myself and I lost. Well, he's gone now, honey. You're right, but I don't imagine everyone has to deal with this. Certainly not every time they're outside. Ever since AI took over production lines and most jobs, people had far less reason to go out to study or work. Being naturally inclined towards laziness, human socialization was reduced to texting for the most part. No one hangs out. This eroded social skills to a point where people forgot how to say hi. Not that I was a social butterfly beforehand, but to think I've become such a recluse. Such that a stranger would make my adrenaline pump like a faucet? I read about it somewhere. Being looked in the eye unnerves animals of all sizes. Somewhere in our genetics, eons ago, eye contact became the universal sign of danger. It meant you were being stalked. A predation candidate. Soon to be shredded alive. Somewhere along the way, we decided that eye contact is not even that. It's required, a polite gesture, showing attentiveness. Maybe it means You're less than human? That wouldn't be too far from the truth, would it? Oh, whoa. That's cool. That's a really cool art I haven't seen. E-A-T-H-E? Please? Let me out? "25 years later, his spark of creativity was snuffed out. It worked. It bred. It retired. And all the while, not an iota of passion remained. A limp existence. Why make? Consumption is so much easier. Was doomed to a faith worse than death, squandering the brief wink into consciousness we are granted. Do not fear death. You do not recall the epochs of history before your birth, and you will not witness the epochs after your passing. Death is simply missing out, knowing that how is life any different? Oh, whoa. Jeez. That is not the ending that I got the first time I played this game. Whoa. That was really cool. Oh man. That was... Not the debugging and crying. Me too, honestly. Wow, I really liked that. Oh jeez, I really liked that second ending, actually. Huh. That's so cool. Wow, I'm so glad that I came back and played this game again. Aw. Thank you, JLo. Man, you know, it took me so long. Dedicated to every struggling creative soul. We believe in you. And Kape. Sorry, Kape, didn't mean to just jump over your section. But wow. You know, I hesitate to say that that was a lovely game, but it was definitely an important... It was definitely... I said this in my first playthrough for sure. It was definitely an experience that I think a lot of people can relate to, and I think it was an important game that had to be made. In the game's author's note, it said that you don't have to like the protagonist, let alone relate to him. Or maybe the other way around. You don't have to relate to the protagonist, let alone like him. And I think this game did an excellent job of demonstrating that. But yeah, this game is so since I've last played this game, it is now available on Steam for only 99 cents. So please, check it out for me, will you? I will leave a link in the description, as always, and thank you so much for coming back to Tea Time, and thank you so much for revisiting this game with me. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I will see you again soon. Bye!